Okay, so let's say you're building something awesome on the new frontier of the internet. You're growing a community, and then it happens. The thing you dream of. That's also kind of your worst nightmare. You go viral. Today, we're going to break down the roadmap for handling that kind of insane growth without completely losing your mind or the soul of your community. Let's get into it. Just picture it. You wake up, grab your phone, and you see this number, 1 million users. Your little passion project, your corner of the web, is now a sprawling digital city basically overnight. And yeah, the excitement is absolutely electric, but right on its heels is this giant wave of pure panic. I mean, where do you even start? And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Now what? Because let me tell you, the strategies that got you your first 1,000 followers, they are going to absolutely shatter when you hit 1 million. The entire game has changed. And if you don't change with it fast, that community you worked so hard to build is just going to collapse under its own weight. This right here, this is the most important part. It's a fundamental change in who you are. You're no longer just a content creator, the entertainer at the center of a small, cozy group. You have to become an ecosystem architect. You're the one designing the systems, the culture, and the structures for 1 million people to actually thrive in. So that leads us straight into our first big section, the mindset shift. Before you touch a single tool or strategy, the change has to happen up here, in your head. It's all about shifting your whole perspective from me and what I'm creating to we and what our community is building together.
I mean, this quote just absolutely nails it. You simply cannot be the main event anymore. It's impossible at this scale. Your job isn't to perform for everybody, it's to create a space where everyone feels empowered to contribute. You're not the star of the show anymore, you're the designer of the stage. So how do you actually do that? Well, first, you've got to find your most dedicated members, your super users, and give them some real power. Call them ambassadors, call them moderators, whatever you want, but let them help you lead. And second, you have to use the amazing tools these new platforms give you to share control. Let the community vote on things. Let them decide what content rises to the top or help shape the rules. It makes everything stronger, and believe me, it takes a ton of pressure off of you. Okay, so once you've got that mindset dialed in, you need the right tools. It is time to build a fortress. You have to protect your new digital city from all the spam, the bots, and just the general chaos that always comes with massive growth. This looks like a lot, but it breaks a huge problem down into 3 key areas. First, moderation. You can't possibly read everything by hand, so you lean on automated filters. For communication, you gotta stop trying to answer every single DM. It's just not gonna happen. You switch to big broadcast announcements, kind of like a town hall. And finally, trust. This one's so important. Get your profile verified so people know you're the real you and they don't get scammed by clones. All right, your fortress is built, the foundation is solid. Let's talk about content, because that super niche, inside joke stuff that your first 100 fans loved, it might not land the same way with an audience of 1 million. Your entire strategy has to grow up. A really great way to think about this is the good old 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should now be aimed at that big, new audience, stuff that's easy to understand, easy to share. But you save that other 20% for the deeply personal stuff, the content that reminds your original core fans why they fell in love with your community in the first place. It's a balance, and it's absolutely key. And look, with 1 million people, you can't expect everyone to be into the same thing. So encourage people to create their own little subgroups using tags or circles. Let them find their people within your larger city. And let's be real for a second. You cannot manage a feed for 1 million people by yourself. It is time to seriously think about hiring a community manager. It's time to delegate. Now for the big one, money. Because managing a community of 1 million users is not free. You've got servers, tools, your time, it all adds up. You have to fuel this engine you've built. And the good news is, on these modern platforms, that doesn't have to mean plastering ads everywhere. One of the most powerful ideas here is the value exchange loop. It's basically a self-powering system. A user creates something really cool and valuable for everyone. In return, the community rewards them, maybe with points or tokens, and those rewards then incentivize that person and others to create even more awesome stuff. It's this beautiful positive feedback cycle. And that's not the only way. You can also look into things like tokenization, which is a fancy way of giving your community a real financial stake in the success of the whole ecosystem. Or you can do something simpler, like premium tiers, where your most dedicated supporters can pay a little to get special badges or early access to new features. So we've built the systems, we've figured out the content.
We've even got the economic engine running. But you know what? None of it matters if the architect, and yeah, that's you, completely crumbles. This last section might just be the most important one of all.
And I want to be crystal clear here. The single greatest threat to your million-user empire is your own burnout. The constant pressure, the endless notifications, that feeling that you have to be on 24/7, it is a recipe for total disaster. If you burn out, the whole thing is at risk. That's why you have to build a personal defense system. First, set real boundaries. Have active hours so your community knows when they can expect to hear from you. Second, you have to stop reading every single comment. It's impossible, and it will drain you. Rely on your moderators and your data to get the big picture. And finally, automate everything you possibly can. Schedule posts, use autoresponders. Give yourself some room to breathe. And when you boil it all down, this is the ultimate goal. This quote says it all. Scaling isn't about you doing more and more work. It's about building a system that's so strong, so empowered, that it actually thrives even when you step away to rest. True success is a community that doesn't need you holding its hand 24/7. So I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. A following depends completely on you, the creator. An empire is a self-sustaining ecosystem that was designed by you, the architect. So, which one are you building?